Lana, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Great, great, Alan. Nice to be here. Thank you so much for the invite.
I'm excited to learn about Cogzia. Tell us what this platform is about and who is this for?
Great, great. Do you want me to dive right in?
Let's dive right into it.
Okay, great. So, Cogzia is for we call subject matter experts. These could be engineers, it could be business analysts, basically who have lots of complex industrial data. And what we do is we allow them to build AI native applications on top of their data through natural language so they can easily get important insights to impact their business.
We're going to jump into it, obviously, but just at a high level, explain to a non-expert in this field what would be the difference compared to just them playing around with ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, or any of the other tools that are popping up every day, and what also is the difference compared to more of an enterprise ecosystem like AWS or Microsoft Azure and the products they offer.
This is great. I might actually start with a longer kind of conversation and explanation. So, I am the co-founder and CEO of Cogzia, and my co-founder, who is the CTO, Greg Costello, and myself, we have been in the sort of generative AI space for a long time. In our previous startup, we basically focus on healthcare. Again, it's a really great example of messy data, highly regulated industry, right? Where data is messy and then you need really high level, high accuracy answers, and also there's zero risk for errors. So what we found is that it's what they said in industry, all the reports, industry reports is correct, right? Still, 80 to 90% of AI projects fail to kind of move from pilots to production. And one of the biggest reason is data. And as you know, the end users deal with lots of data in these industries, right? But then the solutions that on the market are kind of there's a disconnect between the end users and AI solutions. And this is actually why we built Cogzia. We want to make it that simple to use. You just use natural language, and yet the data capability is very different. Is like, a level ahead of the sort of general chat AI experience. For example, the ability to analyze data, right? So we can work with terabytes, gigabytes, and several terabytes of data. That's the first thing. And second thing is that, as you know, it's common knowledge that these chat-based frontier models are non-deterministic, right? A great example would be you ask the same question two times, they give you two different answers. It's great that these AI platforms are so flexible, right? But then when you think about kind of enterprise application, the non-deterministic nature is become a huge problem. And so for us, being able to build a system that kind of break it down to smaller pieces and make it more deterministic is a huge value add. And on the enterprise kind of privacy and security side, is that we make sure that the frontier models don't use our clients' data to train their models. And we also have some other kind of general practices, for example, the time to live and how do you kind of protect the client's data so that they don't cross-contaminate. Those are the sort of the third thing, the data, the accuracy, the security, and privacy protection. And then another thing is that we made it built for an enterprise grade, so it allows it to scale and expand based on your business needs. For example, the back end is actually a model context protocol native platform. So think of you if you have a existing data solution you're already using, right, in your organization. If it has an API, we'll be able to build a custom MCP, allow you to directly connect to your internal data systems. So, and finally, is that we're able to provide all the audit trails, what have you. It's very much that kind of the transparency, making a black box AI into a completely transparent system. I will show you later, hopefully, an opportunity to show you in the demonstration so how it works. And then lastly, I think everyone work in enterprise AI has to address this expert in the loop. And this is also our kind of North Star, if you will. How do we make AI system not only actually guided by human experts and also actually learn, being able to take that human feedback and be able to fine tune and improve.
Okay, so this is an ambitious project. It sounds very appealing. So, would it be fair to say that from the end user perspective, which is the subject matter experts, they come into Cogzia and they are able to build their own workflows and agents using natural language, as opposed to
Correct.
another enterprise-grade solutions like Microsoft or AWS with their ecosystem, which are more tailored for developers, people who have
That's
some
correct.
knowledge of building the backend and all the scaffolding. Here, you're making it easier for the end user to build their own stuff. Is that kind of where the value proposition
You are
plot point
spot
is?
on, Alan. You're spot on. Yeah. We feel about this like, enterprise adoption of AI really boils down to the end users, correct? And these are the SMEs. And there are so many developer tools out there, right? I think the developer community is pretty well served. But then if you look at the solution servicing the SMEs, that there's really a huge gap. So this is where we try to fill. And then they are
Fantastic.
the ones actually tech data, right? Getting into business impact.
Fantastic. So the promise is clear. Let's jump into it. Let's see what the platform looks like.
Great. So this is the website is app.cogzia, COGZIA.com. So this is going to be your landing page. And you basically, this lower right blue thing, just say sign up. You'll be able to sign up and start using it.
Yeah.
And then you go into this landing page. And then, of course, I've been using this platform for some time. I have lots of applications built. But then you just start with building an app.
Okay.
Build me an app that can analyze my oil. Okay, you hit enter. You can load your data now, or you can build app first and load data later. I like to do that. I like to build an app first just to see what it comes out. So the system, what it's doing is actually is a model context protocol MCP native platform. So what it's doing is taking my query. Of course, if you can build like a market app, intelligence solution, right? So it's based on that kind of different query, if you will, the input is going to take your input and then basically determine there's an agentic system in the backend and orchestration system basically saying well, these are the components MCP components you will need and then basically orchestrate and putting them together into an AI native application. So the reason I call it AI native because it basically the user experience is going to be very similar to like using a chat or a Claude or Gemini.
So Coxa in the back end is both, is the infrastructure layer, but also the orchestration layer, pulling everything together.
That is correct. And there's also agents working in the background, kind of fulfilling. There's many layers of the system. I mean, we can go through this as I'm progressing with the demo.
Yeah.
So here we remember I said it's componentized, right? When I said I needed to analyze my data and also I need to pull in public data. So just the public data side, it has your Brave, your Firecrawl, and then on the data side, it has all these like structured data, be able to analyze your documents, so PDF and Word, you can analyze as well. And also there's you can connect with your, for example, with your GeoMap, and there's a lot of other functionalities. We very much aim at increasing improve the capability of frontier models because we've started working with like for example OpenAI in 2022. We actually launched a production grade Gen AI platform as they kind of launch ChatGPT. So we've been working with frontier models for a long time. So we understand the strengths. They're just getting better and better. They're awesome, right? But there are certain limitations. So that's why we build these additional components to improve, to mitigate some of the limitations. Okay, so this is basically, and then because of the context I gave it, right, oil and gas data, it kind of understands some of the different things when I said QC. It basically gave it a name, Petrol QC production audit, and then suggested some capabilities you can do, Okay, questions?
Up to this point, so imagine that I'm a new user of this platform. I am a production or a reservoir engineer. I have a production database and I want to build my app to do this data
Yeah,
cleaning. I haven't
yeah.
uploaded any data. I haven't done any connections to my database yet. I'm just building the scaffolding of the app, right?
Exactly, exactly. And you can actually, there's another way of doing this. It's very much, this is kind of the personalization of one, right? So there's multiple ways to kind of use this application. For example, my co-founder likes to upload the data first before it builds an app because he thinks that then they understand the context of the application. It's also prime the pump early,
Yeah.
and it's very kind of personal preference.
Okay, so there's no one unique way to go about this stuff.
No, there isn't.
And
Very intuitive. We made it easy to use.
okay, just maybe you're gonna jump into it, but just out of curiosity at this point, so the data, if I work with a database that is pretty big, sits somewhere in my company infrastructure, so do you provide alternatives to connect to my database under
Yes.
that enterprise umbrella, or
Yes.
it
Yes.
requires
I'm
upload? Okay, go ahead.
Yes. So we approach it this way. So for this demonstration, I'm going to show you a real oil and gas data set for like, deal evaluation. There's actually a massive like ARIS data set here. So we use, because we're a GCP shop, so we use Google BigQuery as sort of the data system. So there is a BigQuery connector. If you use like MongoDB and what have you, so you're going to have a different connector or both. So
Okay,
this is why the system is scalable accordingly.
okay,
And if you have different data system, for example, or different data set, you can have a SCADA, for example, you have to have an API. We can connect that as well. So this is very, very powerful.
right.
Okay.
So those are the ones, those listed there are already coming off the shelf, but obviously if I come with my own database, provided that I have an API endpoint, we can embed that into this.
Correct. Correct. So basically the app is built. This is a lot of different things I have done. So I'm going to go to the app I built, and then I'm going to say, this is app I just built earlier because I uploaded tons of data. I don't want the users to wait. So I have about 28 giant tables. They're so big. They're actually, I think, maybe hundreds of megabytes, not in the big gigabytes level. But for this data analysis, this is a full data set, real data sets, and it has been anonymized. So it's completely scrubbed of any kind of IDs or any information. So we actually use the system to anonymize the entire data set. This is what AI is really good for. And then I'm going to ask a question. What are the You can either drag and drop, you can use paperclip to upload the files.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the app was built as we spoke. So this was a real
Yes,
time build. So it took a
this is a
couple of
real-time build.
minutes. It took a
Yeah,
couple of minutes
yeah,
to build the app.
yeah,
It's just the
yeah,
data upload we skipped, but
yeah,
now we're ready to use the app through the Cogzia
yeah,
platform itself.
exactly.
Yeah.
I can actually look at where's the new app I built.
While you search here, just I wonder in an enterprise environment, each user logs into their own thing, so they have their own list of apps, or do
Mm,
you have the ability to have like uh, enterprise or company
share.
accounts with shared
Yes,
list of apps and stuff?
yes, yes. So basically, I think this is the one I just built. Yeah, chat. And I can basically now upload all my files. It's basically uploading.
Okay, so we are
Okay,
uploading right now in real
we're
time.
uploading this in real
Okay,
time.
okay.
Yeah. And you can also upload like your PDFs or your Word documents. So in fact, one of the key features of the system is the concept of playbook. You can load your processes and how you want to, what are the sort of the data deficiencies or you're kind of looking for. You basically put your process, your SOPs even sometimes you can put it in here. It basically just follows your procedure.
Yeah, while we're uploading right now, these are files stored where? And just to understand, because obviously security is a key concern for companies, where are they hosted and what is that enterprise security umbrella that sits over all of this?
That's a great question. So right now, what I'm doing, remember, this is the new app I just built, right? I'm showing you basically uploading data. So this is a scrubbed data set sitting on my local machine.
Yeah,
So we can build for enterprise, we can build your custom connectors that kind of follow all your security practices and data governance rules.
right. And if we did that, if I'm a member of an organization and we do all that security stuff beforehand, once I start building apps, do I still need to upload to my own environment while I build the app, or it's already pulling from those connections already established, and that is done upfront
It,
once for the enterprise?
That's a really great point, Alan, because those would be already connected. But then the upload button also may be helpful because you want to maybe upload a report. You want to say, my analysis, I want it to follow this way, right? So there's always opportunity. You might want to upload like one-off documents here and there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but if that report already had been uploaded in that original big upload for the enterprise, if you will, I'm just pulling it from that
You don't need
con.
to. You
Yeah,
don't need
okay.
to.
So
Yeah, you
it's
don't
not
need
like
to
I need
upload.
to
Yeah.
bring for my local app development environment.
No,
It's,
no. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Exactly. I'm gonna just upload all the different things.
When it comes the time to actually start using the app and you start sending queries, and the AI models underneath are going to use our data in their context. Um,
Correct.
so are you establishing also a gate there to for that data to keep being protected, not being used in the training and all the typical security
Correct.
concerns once they're out into?
Correct. Correct. Yeah. So we have we have actually agreements with the frontier models not to use our data to train the models. To go even one step further, and if you have already, if you're a big organization, you already have kind of your own API to the models, we can do that as well, pointing the thing to your models. And then we've just a note on that. We actually have a Fortune 500 company in financial services as our customer. So we've gone through a kind of IT like security, privacy, and AI audit.
Okay, so the upshot
So
here
we
is
passed.
there are mechanisms in place to get around all the safety concerns. That's
Oh, correct.
the
Yeah,
bottom
yeah.
line for it.
That, yes, exactly. Because we came from healthcare, right? We're very, very sensitive about these things. So
Yeah.
an enterprise solution has to be able to meet those standards.
So the data is kept safe. It's not going to be out in the world. It's not going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to remain protected.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm gonna start asking questions because it's still processing the ARIS data. I'm just gonna try it again. Try it from the public data, public. Okay, so basically I said, okay, just tell me what are the kind of the common data errors from based on your public data, right? It's basically scraping the entire internet and finding what are the sort of the challenges in kind of in oil and gas data. So the typical, look at this. Okay, common data mistakes in oil and gas, a practitioner's guide. It basically did all that public data investigation, and then it's going to give you a summary. Let's finish it, and then we can. Okay, all right. So look at this production data error, right? Allocation mistakes, like data debt, and missing or late gauge and flatline rates and wrong downtime accounting, and then you the unit errors, right? And then you have the decline curve, reserve estimation errors, and you have a lot of the economic model errors and regulatory compliance errors. And I'm gonna say I'm interested. I'm interested in data QC. Can you give me more details on the types of data error that I need to surface clean, clean and reconcile. So the bottom line is you can interact with the platform just like how you're using ChatGPT.
Yeah. If I'm a user wanting to use this stuff, I want to be pointed to the exact source
That's right.
and see where the error being pointed at is.
That's
And
right. That's what it's doing now.
yeah,
Look, good question. Let me analyze both of your actual files to identify real data quality issues present in them, then connect those findings to the broader QC framework.
yeah. So all up to here was kind of a general set of typical errors found in datasets of this like, and now we're going to actually dig
Yeah,
into the specifics.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's going to take several minutes, right? The thing about is it's doing really complex analysis. It's going to take time. And we found in customers is like they don't mind to wait because if it comes too fast, they become suspicious that whether it's real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But this is just obviously a once-off upload process, and then you have the opportunity to obviously query
Right.
from here on out
Exactly.
without having to wait each time.
Exactly. Exactly. And then you have, we look at this, it basically, there's the concept of random projects and an app level, right? I think most people who use AI kind of are pretty familiar with this. So all these files now become the kind of at the project level. So I can start new conversations here,
Yeah,
asking different kind of questions. It was just the data were already there. And of course,
sure,
on top of that,
sure.
like you said, if it's connected to your internal data system, then you don't even have to do the upload piece.
Yeah. So I'm going to preempt a few things that I would like to see if possible. So one is to be
Okay.
pointed at the precise source files and where the errors are. That's one. The second one would be to process the data in those files and do some stuff like building charts and tables and things like that. Data analysis, data science kind of thing.
Yeah, what
Which,
I can do is that it's going to do it for you.
yeah,
And then I can do it because I do have a deal evaluation use case here.
yeah.
It may not apply to all the petroleum engineers, but I think applies to most of the folks who look at production. I can actually run a analysis for you.
I got lost in the. I think you switched pages. I didn't notice. Are we in the same app,
We're
just
still
a
in the
little bit
same.
further
Yeah, we're still
down,
waiting. We're
or
still
just
waiting.
further down?
Yeah,
That's
we're
all.
just further down. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Okay.
That's all. Yeah. So
So
basically, it did
it's just
like,
reporting where
this.
it's at. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
In
I'm
this case.
interested in this, right? It basically did, okay, I actually look at the data and then collect these findings to the broader QC framework. So these are overall data quality. There we go. And it basically doing some spot check on the different tables. And
Right. So
let's see.
okay. So it's
These are all the
reporting and
interim. These are,
communicating what he's done and what he found.
yeah.
Let me also check these also. Okay, would it be fair to characterize Cogzia as an MCP wrapper that allows you to just create a user-friendly interface to ask questions via app building for the end user? Is that what it is, right?
Remember, remember MCP itself doesn't really kind of have like intelligence, right?
Yeah,
It's basically a protocol that around. So the system behind is really the brain. It's the agentic platform, basically being able to uh, um, can build your MCP components and be able to orchestrate and be able to kind of and with agentic to be able to take your query, particularly your data, be able to do all the analysis in the back end.
yeah.
So it's not really MCP wrapper, if you
No,
will.
yeah, wrapper is not the right word, but it's the front end to make it easier for the end user to build the MCP. But
That's right. Yeah,
that's the
MCP.
engine that powers, yeah,
Yes, and yeah, it's sort of the if you think of the back end, right? We hit all the complexity on the front end, right? And we really wanted to kind of make it really simple, but the
yeah,
back end is MCP driven. You're
that's right.
correct.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Okay, it actually created the charts for me. Uh, okay, so this is the data. Source data is the LOS summary, right? It had like 31 months. And we see this. This is the problem with these. Well, let's look at this. Wow, interesting. It actually gave me the timing error and diagnostics, right? This is the range. So it went down really, really deep on this root cause.
Did you prompt anything else other than just QC the data I may have missed?
No, it's basically it says of the entire data set, right? The complete data set and QC in hand. Let me build a complete data QC framework. And please continue. I did ask it to graph it, right? The visualization. If you don't want the visualization, and okay, there we go. No, this is more like it. See, it give you the
Yeah.
inconsistent naming, for example. Yeah, that's what you're looking for,
So
right?
so it's reporting, one point at a time, what error was
For
found
each
and where.
file,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right. If it didn't find any mistake in that file, it just wouldn't list it. It only lists these, like for example, this errors. Look at that. I mean, we can go back and look at this whole thing. Where is it? Oh, this is the recommended QC workflow. Yeah, it just give you a lot of data. There we go. So this is the file, right? Then we have negative values across 17 line items. And then the drill data, we have the identifier problem. And then we have the some of the values here, clear and mistake, the data entry problems.
Are in
And then
those
you can ask,
tables reporting under each of those titles or sections, are there any links to the source files to where the error is, for
no, we
example?
don't have that. Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, that would be a kind of on the product roadmap to build.
Okay, so this is the way you find out
What you can
where.
do is, please fix the error. It can actually fix it and give you a CSV output. I can say, can you find, for example, duplicates uh, in my data set. Let's just kind of keep going, and then we can do the analysis.
Okay.
Okay, so I found 1951 exact duplicate rows and 36 wells with multiple cost centers in the LOS.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not instant, but not like using ChatGPT, but several minutes you'll be able to get answers.
Yeah, no, I mean, to analyze big data sets, you just put the task, go
It's
for
pretty
a
cool,
coffee.
right? I think it's pretty powerful.
No, it is, but it would be also interesting. I don't know if we have time, but it would be interesting to analyze a tiny data set just to do something with the data. I would like to see that capability to, graph me this data by prompting in plain English. I don't know what data is, but I know I want to extract that data and put in a chart or do some analysis or calculations with it.
Or we can pull something from public data. We
Hmm.
can we can create a new app. What do you think?
Well, might as well. If the app creation was just a minute, so
Okay,
we
all
don't
right,
need to
let's do
upload a
that.
large data set. Just even a tiny
Yeah. I have a,
Excel
production
file.
data set.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be good.
yeah, let me do
Let's
that.
do that.
Let me do that. I want to build. Uh,
A dashboard. Let's build a dashboard.
unfortunately, AI doesn't do dashboard really well. but it can build graphs. Okay, to say dashboard uh, that analyzes a small data set,
Yeah.
a small data set, or let's do oil and gas and chart it. Okay. I think I do have a small production data set. I can do that, and we can like look for like chartings and
Yeah.
there we go. Okay, all right. What is this called? Oil gas production charting. Great. Where is my oil and gas production charting? There we go. Okay, I'm gonna start a chat. There we go.
So the app
This
is
is from the
created.
Norwegian.
It goes to your homepage directory of all your apps. You launch
Yes.
it, start chatting, upload
Yeah.
the
There we
required
go.
files, and then you just chat away.
Yeah. This is the vault from the Norwegian Sea. I think this is actually from the
Oh
data
yeah, the Volvo,
bricks.
yes, well, it's
Yeah.
well known.
Yeah. Everyone's aware of this. Like, shall we just say, what do you know about this data? Just kind of give us a level setting. Yeah.
Just yeah, yeah, just produce a summary table and a
Mhm.
production chart. That's it. Let's keep it very
Okay.
simple.
Okay. Produce a summary table
Table and
and
a chart with production data in the last 10 years.
okay, model net knowledge request. Okay, there you go. It's like it's analyzing the query, the data frame is here. It's gonna look at the data in totality.
Explain to me the capabilities as far as data analysis and calculations are limited by the capabilities of the language models that sit underneath, or there's
Oh,
extra.
we're way beyond it
Okay,
extra.
all
It's
right.
extra. Yeah,
Uh,
our math module
yeah,
can do like space physics, can do population genetics, can do petroleum engineering physics and stuff like that.
okay. And all of that sits in that connected map in the MCP server being built in the
Yes,
backend.
yes,
So we're
yes.
pulling capabilities from these added math and physics models on top, obviously, of the LLMs you're connecting to. Okay,
Correct.
okay.
Correct.
That's
Yes.
that's
And then
very important to clarify for the user because they know that these LLMs are limited and there are
correct.
hallucinations and bad calculation, all that. So
Yes, yes, yes. We build the kind of the workhorse on the sort of at the MCP level.
can you ask in parallel additional questions using this same app in a different window, for example, to progress in
Yes, you
parallel while
can.
not you wait?
Yeah.
So let
Okay, there you go.
okay. So great.
Gives you the summary table. It shows you the approach, right? It shows you how you did. It's actually really good at answer questions. I was demoed to a client. It basically said, "Oh, it doesn't look like this assumption is correct." You basically says, "Oh, why did you make the assumption?" It explains to you, and you basically say, "Okay, this is wrong. Do it this way." It basically can do complete new analysis with that. So that's
Right.
why we call this a expert in the loop system, because it allows the expert to be able to validate the answers and be able to look at the approach, right? And let's look at the chart. This is the charts, and the charts all end up here as well. Is there anything else we want to do? And the summary table.
So, okay, so I guess the next step would be to understand the full capability map that sits underneath for the user to understand. For example, bring 2D maps or 3D grids, things like that. Is there any capability with that? The user might wonder, right? For example, build me a 3D
Yes,
view of the following porosity grid. If they bring those grids because they exist as files in their data sets, it would be good to understand the full capability map as those MCP components in the backend.
So you saw those MCP components, right? It's able to QC data cleansing data. We'll be able to do tables reconciliation, and then the analysis can automatically, analyze your entire like virtual data room, your reserve data, all these different things, like 30, 40 tables together. We have other clients who basically analyze gigabytes of data, and
Yeah.
then be able to chart, do math, to chart, and then be able to output PowerPoint presentation or PDF reports. And
But
then you can actually
sorry to interrupt
upload.
you, Lena. Sorry to interrupt, just to clarify that, because I know you did show on your screen the MCP components that were listed, but I thought those were the ones that, while building the app after your query, were identified to be the ones necessary, right? But,
Yeah,
but
those come in when you're building the app,
exactly, but potentially
right?
there are many more. So for a different type of app, others will be brought in. So
Correct.
yeah, so that's what I mean. It would be good to have the full umbrella of,
Oh,
you
you're
know what I
saying
mean?
what capability? Yes. Okay, I see.
Exactly, the full
So,
capability map. Because
right,
now
on the
that
MC
actually may
on the
spark an
MCP
idea
server
in me as
side.
to what app can I build, understand that, oh, that's a capability here. So
So the system is capable of building any custom MCPs. As long as the software has an API, we'll
yeah,
be able to build that for you. We have not opened the MCP custom building to users because our users don't typically remember these are not developers, right?
sure.
They don't want it. So we can build, and if you say I need like 3 or 5 custom MCPs for my enterprise systems, then we can build it for you. So right
Yeah,
now, there's there are maps, there's weather, there's a lot of public data sources. A lot of folks wants to do market research, right? There's a
yeah,
YouTube connection, Reddit, all these kind of a lot more on the public data side, sources side. On the
yeah,
private data side, we are adding physics components to this,
yeah.
and then basically just customer kind of requirement. We're actually on the product roadmap is be able to like do log files, be able to do those 2D,
Yeah.
3D type of data, like seismic type of data, just specific for oil and gas. Because right
Fantastic.
now
Yeah.
we only do like structured data and unstructured data. Structured side it's just like CSVs and Excels.
Yeah. If I am a user of the Cogzia platform, I would have obviously visibility as to what that full capability spectrum is, because I'm pretty sure that
That's right.
knowing that, then that can spark ideas as to what type of apps, start building,
Yeah,
leveraging all these
yeah,
capabilities. So
yeah,
I think
exactly.
fantastic. I mean, obviously the next step is to have a play with the platform and start building some tools. And this looks very, very clean. The value proposition is clear for the end user here, removed from all the developer stuff, which sounds messy and
We hide
complicated.
all the messiness and complexity,
Yeah,
right?
so
My
it looks
co-founder
very
actually started.
straightforward. You build a couple of apps in a couple of minutes, uploading the stuff. So the message is very clear, the workflow is very clean, and yes, I guess subject matter experts are going to be
In the
excited
loop,
about having
actually
the
in the
capability.
driver's seat. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Okay, look,
My
we hit
co-founder
the one
actually
hour mark.
came.
See, it went
Yes,
quick.
yeah. My co-founder actually came from Apple, so this kind of aesthetics and simplicity is like always like what he strives for.
Fantastic. All right, Lana, I appreciate you coming on and giving us this walkthrough. I'm going to be touching base with you again to get access to the platform, have a play myself, and I'll be obviously posting this to my network through my channels, and let's see what the reception is. All right,
Yeah.
Lana, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for coming on.
All right. Thank you so much, Alan. This is great. Fantastic.
Cheers.